Shalom, shalom, everyone. Going live again. Can you believe it? Twice in 1 week. And after having like that 5 month absence, it's like I'm just deciding to come on because I have things to say. If you guys have followed the last two videos that have been posted, not the ones where Ken and I have been sharing about the languages, I'm very much excited to be able to bring these to you because I felt very strongly in my spirit. It's time. It's now time. And, in the process of sharing these things with you, having that YouTube channel open for over 2 years now, there was a certain few things that needed to take place in my own personal life so I could bring this to you. But I also just didn't quite feel like the Spirit was releasing them. But I know that the time is here and the time is now. The reason why I wanted you guys to join me after that second part 2 video is I wanted to share something that I really felt that the Spirit laid upon my heart because of wanting to give access to as many people as possible these languages. And I have heard from people, due to what we have gone through collectively over the last 2 years, how financially some people have been really impacted on this. And that actually really broke my heart in processing that in what people were sharing. So as I was searching within to find the resolve, the answer came to me. The people that are able to sign up on the tier on Patreon, the Toda Rabah, the gratitude platform, will also have access to these teachings. They will have access to the recorded teachings. Those who are on and decide to join at the $22.22 level on the Orim will be engaging live with me in these teachings once a week. That way we can get to know each other and you can ask questions, which will be very important to be able to assist the people that are coming in at the $5 level. So I wanted to let you guys know that this was something that, I didn't want to get emotional about this, but I'm going to get emotional about this. The languages are very sacred. They're very sacred to me. And they are a part of who I am in my soul level. It doesn't mean that's my identity. I am. But they are very much attached to my heart and the essence of my being. So I wanted to be able to put them in a place where there was some value being given to them because of what they've done for me in my healing journey, for what they do collectively, for how they lift the vibrational frequency up of anyone who engages with them. So I was wrestling with just putting them as an availability under the $5. But I do know that I do not need to worry about that. Because when people enter into the study of the languages and they begin to see the beauty of it, they will see the value of it. And I don't need to worry about it because the languages don't really need to have protection. I don't need to be that big gatekeeper that says, you shall not pass unless. And the Spirit said no. But I do feel that there is some level of an investment to be made within these languages. And $5 a month to be able to get this information that is so transformative is like buying me a cup of coffee once a month for 4 weeks of teaching every single month. And I like that investment. I enjoy my cup of coffee. So it's a way of saying, thank you, Carrie. Can I share a cup of coffee with you and have you share with me your heart? Because that's where I'm going to be coming from as I share these things. These are a decade worth of raising myself up, 10 years, a decade of Ken raising himself up in the languages. And we just really want to share that with you. So anyway, the gate is going to be open for you. As soon as I get done with this here, I will go back into the Patreon account and I will make the adjustments under that tier. So those of you who felt like it was being priced out of your reach for a simple cup of coffee, you will have access to those teachings as well. And if financially things change and you want to pop on over to the Orim tier, where you can have live interaction with me every week, I would love to see you there. But I don't want this. I don't want money to keep you from being able to learn these things if the language is calling you. And I did see my friend Daryl posted on the live stream about one of the best things to do when you start engaging in the languages is to dig out your own name through the letters themselves so that you can see that vibratory frequency, that nature of that which you have been called, that which you carry, that which is going to be emanating through you as the letters begin to reveal themselves to you. But really, it's about them revealing you to yourself. That's the beauty in it. That was what was most surprising to Ken and I in our study, was how much it reveals you. And then we can go into the deeper things about revealing that you are a creator. You are the creator, just a unique fractal of the same source of creation. It's sometimes very overwhelming in sitting back and registering what is being revealed to us in that moment. So, Treya, I'm very happy to see you back, my beautiful friend. It was a long time of your absence, and I'm very happy to see you back. That means a great deal to me. You were with me in the very, very beginning when I was wrestling with the YouTube channel and my beginning stages of the teachings, and to see you back here, your beautiful heart. And I'm highlighting her. I'm seeing all of my family here, and so I'm really happy you guys have joined. But I'm highlighting Treya. She was very important in the beginning stages of encouraging me to continue moving forward in this. And she actually sent me a beautiful piece of art that she created about the letter Lamed. And at some point, Treya, I would love to be able to share that with people, because I love the imagery that you get prophetically. It really touched my heart. It still does. She also walked through a situation with me with a cat, and she'll probably remember that I was just in tears about, and she helped carry me through that very troubling time and decision that I had to make. So I will never forget your love and your support, my beautiful friend, ever. Kathleen, it's good to see you. So that, if you guys are just joining us, I just announced that the gate, the Toda Rabah gratitude tier, will have access to the teachings as well at $5 a month. So I'm wanting to make that available to as many people as possible so that we can continue to spread this language and that which it reveals to a broader group of people, so that many of us can be doing this, that we can come together collectively and we can bring to the banqueting table what we've dug out, what we've shared, our treasure, because it's really revealing the light that is within you that we can then project on others as we raise them up and draw out as mishpachah, as family, to draw the anointing out with one another in using a very common language, a common foundational piece that does unite and bring unity, because it's the expression of the building blocks. It's the same building blocks. We just become the unique expression of those same building blocks, the blocks of creation within the matrix system. So it's beautiful. So I hope you guys will join us. I really look forward to it. As more of you maybe begin sharing this with other people, let's get it started. The beautiful thing about Patreon, just to let you guys know, is that all of those messages are recorded and they're left on Patreon. So even if somebody joins a month later, they can still access all of those teachings. There was a point in time where I had a fear of loss, like, well, what's going to happen, if this gets out there, and blah, blah, blah. And it was all attached to fear. And I'm at the place where I've just cast that out because I walked through it. I'm not afraid anymore. Like Ken was sharing the other day about pushing all of the gold into the middle of the street, all the gold bricks. That's what my heart is, to do the same thing. Because it's not my treasure, it's our treasure. It's our inheritance. It's the family's inheritance. It's just not just mine. And I want to share as liberally as I possibly can with all of you, so that we can, united, do the greater things that we were spoken to that would happen. Uniting the Magdalene heart and the Christ mind as we bring these truths forward within our own home, within our own selves, within our wonderful conversations with each other. Because I'd love to be able to see study groups be able to come together, so that it's not just me once a week sharing with you, but that those that are within the class can unite, share addresses, share emails, maybe get on Zoom sessions with each other and begin to talk and hash these things out. when I first started studying. That was very helpful. Of course, Ken and I have been able to do that together, and we've seen the fruit of having two of us. So imagine being able to reach out to other people and having your own little study groups where we can come back every week and bring, like I said, the fresh manna to the table of what this group studied and what this verse was saying. Because with many hands makes light work. And we can go through the sacred writings, everything that has been presented to us, and we can bring it all to the to this feast of who we are as Mishpachah. I did have a verse that I wanted to share with you today. I mean, I know I've been on here for almost 15 minutes already, but I wanted to share a little bit of a treasure with you that I found this morning in preparing to be able to make this announcement today for those of you. And if you're not interested in the language, I've been going for 13 minutes, just turn off this video. Don't listen to the live stream because it's, unless you want to. I mean, if the Spirit is saying, hey, I'm curious, I want to see what this lady's talking about here. I'm going to bring you into a verse, and we're going to look into the Aramaic that we can go ahead and start looking into. So let me go ahead and share that with you. And thank you, Kathleen. Just thank you, Kathleen. Let's take a look here into the verse that I want to share with you. I made a little sheet for us to look at today. Give me just a moment. And it's always difficult when I share things with you because I can't see you and I can't see your comments. All I can see is my computer screen. So I'll have to pop back out to see if you guys have questions or anything like that. And I love that you guys engage in the chat section. It always makes my heart super happy when I go back and read all the messages. I'm just happy you guys are here with me. I feel you. I feel your presence. I feel your love, and I feel your support. And I thank you. Toda rabah. So we're going to look at Acts chapter 3, verse 21, and whom the heavens must receive until the completion of the times of all those which Allah has spoken by the mouth of his holy prophets who have been from of old. King James, that was Dr. Etheridge's work, and King James would say, whom the heaven must receive until the times of restitution of all things. I usually say the restoration of all things, which God has spoken by the mouth of all of his holy prophets since the world began. I decided to break this down because I found it so fascinating, as I always do. And those of you who watched my sharing for a while know I have my champagne moments and that I usually use the same words over and over again. I'm not going to apologize for that. It's simple speech for big concepts of big heart that is being shared as we're expanding our consciousness together. And sometimes for me, simple speech is better. And that's where I'm going to present that from. So the very first word that we're looking at, as translated as 2 or 4, I got really excited when I saw this because it was the Dala. And Dala is the root of the symbol Dalet. And the reason why I got excited when I saw this very first word is because in the essence of the first 2 letters here, we have a word that means to be poor, weak, and thin, and really connected to being poor, destitute. And many of us, when we started out this journey, because we didn't know anything, and some of us were highly steeped in the matrix. I mean, I know I was. That when the awakening process, when I began to be roused, awake, and stirred up out of my slumber, I really was at the place where I felt like I was pretty poor and weak, because all of a sudden I saw things that I had never seen before, and honestly, it was terrifying. I realized how much I didn't know, and it felt like, I remember saying time and time again, like, wow, I am not in Kansas anymore. I don't even know what to do with this. And this word is connected to being able to deliver ourselves from that position. So, the horrifying aspect of waking up in the matrix to see the operation of the dual system, and then to see that there's actually a resolve, there's a way to deliver yourself out of that dualistic mindset that really keeps us in a lockdown position, usually in fear. and what it brings to us through the language and how it was written is with this letter Hey right here, which is the divine feminine energy, the Shekinah, the Shekinah glory, which is the presence of Father, which is presenting the divine feminine to us. Again, mother and father are always pointing to themselves, pointing to each other, one carrying the masculine and one carrying the feminine, which appear to be opposites. But that's only because the balance has to be there in order for them to fully equate that to us in the aspect of what Yod He and Vav He is. And we'll get to that in the teachings because, there's a lot to be shared, and we have to start in that really rudimentary sense of the ABCs so we can get somewhere, because it is studying and learning a new language, and it's extending yourself a lot of grace in the process of learning and realizing that it doesn't all have to be memorized. In fact, as I was processing and sharing this today, it's kind of the same thing that I know that Ken has wrestled with in the past. We both have, about wanting to have things so memorized that every time that we meet with someone that we can just recall or regurgitate all of this knowledge. And what we have found, it has nothing to do with that. It has to do with the heart posture and being able to speak from your heart. And it doesn't have to wow and dazzle people with signs and symbols and breaking down the words. It's speaking a kind word to somebody who may be in need of that, coming from a place where a heart that has been changed and transformed, walking in the Mashiach and with the Magdalena, the Christ mind, and the Magdalene heart, that can meet somebody right where they're at in order to draw that anointing out of them as well. One that lifts and girds and brings compassion and love to the table. So this word right here, in what I'm sharing with you, this essence, this revelation, is meant to raise all of us up. Again, looking as this word instead of at it. But it's the process of us doing that for others and teaching them how to do it as well. Because really, it's about the Lamed being in that center position, which is all related to the heart. It's the heart instruction so that we can take that melancholy heart and turn it into something that is full of joy and is full of gladness. Because it's that which the heart speaks that then draws people in. Because we've found something, we've become something that seems like it's been impossible against all odds. And especially where we've been living within the last 2 years and the challenges that all of us have faced. It's not just us individually, because I know that we've all had our own individual challenges, but collectively we have as well. And so I know that what I've personally experienced on a grand scale is going to deliver all of us from that melancholy heart. And it's going to transform and is transforming everything. So when we move into the next word, the welo, it's the right and proper. And I wanted to share this with you because, again, I'm always fascinated. I love digging into the words. Before I get in a little bit further into just this word in what it's sharing with us, I want to show you guys an aspect that some of you may not be aware of. Many times when a word, it has a root position. And so if we are to go back to the very first word that I took forever to discuss with you, the root position of this word is just a single lamed by itself. But you can see that when it was written, there's 3 letters here. Now, you would not see this unless you saw the language. So I asked Spirit to, highlight a word to me so I can actually show you this from a tangible sense. So you can kind of see what I'm talking about. So every word having its root position, the way the writers would utilize these words is they would add letters or delete letters that were trying to communicate a principle that was much deeper in speaking to us in different levels, whether it was talking about our external world, our internal world, if it was talking about our connection to source, or if it was even talking about healing our wounds and going through our shadow. All of these letters were written specifically to target certain elements within our maturation as a triune being. And I know there's much greater cosmology sides of it, but for simple terms, for us to be able to identify with how does this apply to me, I am not going to be bringing those things in. That is more advanced teaching. What I want to bring in is the things that you can identify within that will change and transform you from the heart, from the inside out. We will worry about those loftier teachings as all of us get to that place in maturation where we can handle the load of that. But right now, I want to take it to the heart of us as a child. That is the most important element. So let me show you something here. I'm going to stop sharing for a moment, and I'm going to bring in Bible Hub, which was a place that I went into for years and study. And Ken predominantly uses Bible Hub to take a look at the Hebrew aspects of it. I use a lot more of the Aramaic, but I'm going to show you something from Bible Hub. And I need to pull it up here. I didn't want to leave it open because it affects my bandwidth, and then it gets pretty shoddy and glitchy, and I don't like doing that. But I need to show you this briefly. So I'm going to pull up my Bible Hub, and I'm going to pull up a word that it's more like an intimate knowing, but I'll show you. Now that I have it up on my computer, I will go ahead and do the screen share so I can bring you into it. It takes me a moment. I wish this was a little bit quicker, but it is what it is. Okay, here's the word yada. We're going to go down. I want to show you something here that you may not be familiar with. So here's the root position of this word. It's got 3 letters to it. But I want to show you all the different ways this word is written. So bear with me. Close your eyes if this is making you a little nauseated or nauseous because of scrolling down. I want to show you this right here. These are the forms and the transliterations of the word itself, and we're just gonna focus on the forms. No, I'm not teaching you all of these forms today. What I'm trying to share with you here is look at how many different ways this word is written. So remember, it was 3 letters, but just take a look at all the different ways that yada was written. And every single way that it was written is trying to bring forth a concept of something that is particularly connected to this word. And I know that right now this probably is looking like Greek to most of you if you don't know the letters. But again, the whole process is to letting you know is that they were written in a certain way to bring forth information to you that was very pertinent in the moment. And it needed to be expressed in different forms and fashions than just what the root word was sharing. I don't know about you, but when I first recognized that, it just like blew me away. I'm like, whoa, okay. So it was written all these different ways. You can even look up the Tetragrammaton, Yod-Heh-Vav-Heh, Strong's 3068, and you can take a look and see how many times just those 4 letters are written differently. And those never get translated. That information never gets translated into English. So you would never, ever, ever know that that was even there unless you begin to dig into the sacred writings themselves and see them with your own eyes and be able to interpret them through your own heart, through the Spirit, helping assist as it's coming forward. So let's get back in the verse, and hopefully I won't belabor it too much because I can get very wordy because I'm very word oriented, and I just want the Spirit to come through on this for you. That's what's most important. Don't want to get you lost in the minutia. So I'm coming back here. We're now moving into the way low, what is right and proper. And this combination right here, Lamed Aleph, these are the instructions that lead into oneness unity. And the Vav is basically saying to us, you need to connect to these instructions because it is this that is going to teach your heart to bring forth universal unity of all mankind. And this is every luminous manifestation of the Aleph of the divine source. Because that's what we are. We are a fractal of that. We are the mystery of the many who make up that luminous manifestation of the divine source. And in this, it's interesting that because of the Vav and the Yod, or the Vav and the Lamed, if I can highlight it better, and I'm probably going to increase this size so you can see, guys, a little bit better in case some of you are on your phone. The Vav and the Lamed together are also a representation of the greater light and the lesser light, the sun and the moon. And one of those is masculine in energy and the other one is feminine. So this drops us down into the heaven, into the sky. Leshmaya. And we have the fire represented in the water. We have masculine and feminine energy again, which makes up the word Shem. And this is so amazing to me because that which is right and proper, saying, connecting to these teachings that will instruct you and deliver you from the place of separation, the place where you have been stirred up awake and you're seeing how much is that you don't know, that there are right and proper teachings that are high and lofty, that are lifted up as the expanse. So when I broke this word down, take a look at this here, because what you're finding in this is that these lofty teachings are connected to Shem, which is a word that means the name. They're connected to the name. We don't need to get really concerned about if we're pronouncing Yahweh, Yahuwah, Jehovah. Really, the root of it is Hayah, to come to pass. We don't need to get hung up on how we pronounce the name, because the name is a frequency. Again, we have trouble because we noun everything in the English language, which then pushes it away from us as a person, place, or thing outside of us, when these languages are very much about what's inside of you as to who you are as a frequency. So Shem, this is a beautiful word that in its raw essence, one of it means that very place within, that place, that very place within. Okay. Then it also has the meaning of glory, splendor, fame, virtue, that which rises and shines, that which is distinguished, sublime, and remarkable. And again, I'm speaking about you. I'm speaking about me. I'm speaking about us as the collective here. So the Lamed, that letter in itself, which Treya knows, that's why she sent me that beautiful picture. It is my favorite letter, simply because what it is sharing with us is so profound that one letter would convey all of this information to us, to accustom, to learn, to be learned, studied, putting things together, compiling, bringing things together, connecting, to teach, to study, knowledge, and that most importantly, this letter, when it is given to us and when we embody and we manifest this, not only is the rod of the teacher, but its authority. And when we see this authority toward these teachings that are pushing us toward the Shemaya, to the name, is that which enables us to rise and shine. These teachings are meant to lift us up out of the Maya. And some of you would know this Sanskrit as the word of illusion. So these lofty teachings that are full of splendor and that are remarkable and sublime is to lift us out of the Maya, out of the illusion, so that we are the ones that rise and shine, that this knowledge is part of this Lamed Sheen here, which I want to share with you also. Not only is it connected to the tongue and language, but it means forming and composing in mass. We're talking multitudes here, and it's that which makes pliable, that which is firm and divided. So something that feels like it's rigid, these languages actually make you pliable. And for something that feels so divided in our dual system of the black and the white and the right and the wrong and the Democrat and the Republican and all these different denominations, something so hard, so focused, so rigid, it actually makes you pliable, so that we can then step out of the illusion and we can reclaim our power back as united, as one. That's what the languages do. And the first thing it does is it unites that divided place within you and unites it so that we can then manifest it externally. I don't know about you, but I think that is beautiful. The main reason why I brought this out is because the other day I was sharing with those of you who have watched this messages I've shared, some of the live streams, or even on Patreon, we were actually talking about Kabbalah. I don't study Kabbalah as far as a formal study of something that was already generated by Jewish mysticism. My husband and I came way via the Spirit. The Spirit released the languages to us, directed us where we needed to go to get the information on the letters themselves, and began to share with us the mystery, the secrets that were held and contained within the language. And I love that so much because it was organic in nature. It wasn't something that somebody shoved a book in my face and said, read this, and then you're going to know this, and then do this. I've been, and I know my husband has 100%, has been in the place where Spirit has needed to lead us into all truth. Maria, Doruka de Kucha Maria, has needed to lead us into all truth. And because of that, and because we said yes a long time ago, we were given the ability to see the languages, and that's why we're here sharing them with you today. But again, I wanted to bring this to you because Ken has shared, and I love the way that he brings this about, and I want to give him credit for it because, I've adopted it as my own because I've seen the beauty in being able to collapse something and then to refill it. Because we have been indoctrinated to believe certain things, especially through fear. When you hear the word Kabbalah in many people's minds and hearts, that automatically gets you in a defensive posture because people could throw things out to you like, well, those are doctrines of demons and whatnot. But in reality, what we're challenging and what we're coming against is a teaching system, a thought form, an egregore that was established years ago by the Roman culture to get us into a place of a mindset that would keep us in dualism and keep us locked down through fear. So I wanted to take the time, if you already saw this about the word cabal, you can go ahead and turn off the rest of this video because I'm not going to go into much too deeper than this. But I wanted to share with you the power of this one word specifically, because I didn't realize how much I have actually seen this word in the New Testament. It was like the Spirit said, you need to look at this so that you can grasp a hold of it and really present this and understand, collapse and refill this word with meaning, to see that there has been a voice that has been crying out to us because it's heard our cries from within. Because many of us have felt very diminished in the last couple years. So let me show you what I'm talking about here. I highlighted for you here. This is the word cabal. This is the root, and you can see it. This is the Aramaic writing that I'm using in transliteration into Hebrew because people are more familiar with the Hebrew letters than they are actually the Aramaic ones. So that's why I decided to put that transliteration in for those who have already been studying the language. But here's the root, and we can see the additional letters that are presented. So the root of this, there's an appeal to, accuse, receive, take, present, and oppose. But this is only one side that was actually given through the Peshitta, when this word has way more meanings than that. And again, based on the translator and where they are in their position of their heart through the mirrored image of projection, this is where they wanted to take you because that is where they are when they translated it. But it's not all the information, because again, the mirror reflecting your heart in the place that you are at is how you are going to see these. So it's best that we take in all the information to see what the Spirit is saying to us in our now moment of where we are, not only collectively, but where we are individually, because as within, as without, right? So whatever is on the inside of me, I am projecting into the matrix. And if you have no idea what I'm talking about, please watch the first two videos that I just released about the teachings, part 1 and part 2, but specifically the part 1 talking about the matrix. Very important to connect to with this. So Kabbalah is to receive the Shekinah, the Shekinah glory of the divine feminine. The Kabbalah actually means to cry out, and that is taking place with the Kuf and the Lamed, which means to call out, a voice that is calling out from within. The bet literally means within, and it's found in the center of the word. So it's a voice that's crying out within from the center position of the heart. But this is a letter that is talking about two energies, two divided energies that are opposite of each other, two opposing energies that are actually coming together to build family, to build mishpachah. We already shared with you the other day about that, about drawing the anointing out. But there's a voice that has been crying out for us to respond to this. But it's also been in response to our own cries. So take a look at this here. So down a little bit further, I decided to put this in here so you could see this. This word also means to feel oppressed, to cry out, to complain, and to bring a charge. Now, if you all have been awake in the last 2 years, I am sure that each and every one of us, to a degree, has felt this. And there's been a crying out. And if we even want to talk about some natural things, I'm sure some of you have been crying out because of the gas prices as of late. Just using that as something that we've all had to deal with that has caused us to have to change up our lifestyle and do things different, because in some cases gas prices have tripled. So there's an oppression that we've been feeling. And so there's literally a voice that is crying out that is not a voice that is heard. It is a voice that is crying out from within. It's a frequency that is generated that needs no words. But there's an anguish. There's a frequency being emitted from our heart for those that have been feeling oppressed. And there's a complaint that we've been lodging against this exterior world, this matrix that we're in. And in response, the language is crying out and saying, come, I will give you the keys for you to be able to compress light within you so that you can build your temple from the inside out, from the two opposing energies that are inside of you, so that you can begin to build family. Now look at this too. So this is also talking about going out to meet an encounter, to be present. What are we encountering, you guys? The presence that is within, welcoming, receiving the very presence that is within us, that a lot of our indoctrination has us pushed outside of us externally. That's what the languages are all about. It's welcoming the presence that's already within so that we can begin to build family. It's welcoming both energies. It's not this heavy masculine dominant, but it's receiving both of these energies that have been calling out. We go a little deeper in the meaning of this word, and it means a battle in the center of the body. So the battle that we have been going through, if you want to call it a spiritual battle, is for the center of our being, our heart. It's a battle for our heart. And there's the two opposite sides of fear and love that we are meant to bring together and neutralize them so that it becomes this place of love, not conditioned, not external, you do this for me and then I'll do this for you. This is an all-encompassing love as is, which is spirit. Ruka is love. This is moving us into that place and overcoming that spiritual battle, because the place of the battle has been in that place of the heart and the mind for the Christ and the Magdalene, so that we can come together coherently, so we can overcome and be those who are standing as healed, as whole, as holy. Let me show you this. The Dalet Nun has been added to the front of this, and this is a word that means judges. And we're going to get into this, the judges. Ken has been speaking about it for quite a while on Patreon, and even on our YouTube channel. We have been discussing the return of the judges, and you will get an answer, a greater answer for you guys to connect that to something that is very important when we begin teaching these languages to you next week. But this is the judges that are coming, the establishment, that are the resolve, that have resolved themselves from the inside out, that they are coming as those who are crying out, as like a voice in the wilderness. And that should connect some dots to you, because that voice has to go out before the anointing can come in full, in mass. Remember the Lamed Shin? This is the teachings, the instructions of fire that are going out in mass to call forth this anointing so that we can be in the presence of the Shekinah glory, the Shekinah, that is being made available for everyone who would dare to venture in, to go in and be able to find this and pull it out, not only from themselves, but for others. And this is providing the blueprint for us to do that. This is how we are going to be doing the greater things, because many of us will be walking. It won't just be one figurehead, the Buddha, or, Yeshua the Christ, or the Magdalene, or you can name anointed person after anointed person that has made significant contribution to humanity, one person at a time. We are talking collectively here, in mass, on the grand scale. So we're talking about, until we've been talking about the witnesses who have a testimony, the 100-fold to the 1,000-fold measurement of to the place of fullness, fulfillment, and consummation. That is so amazing, because we are talking about intimacy that is coming from the inside out. that there is a season and a period of time that this is being given to us. And Ken has been declaring that the season of the sword is here. The sword has come. Here is that door that we enter into so we can grasp a hold of that sword. Please listen to things that we've been sharing on YouTube if you haven't been catching the last week or so. The sword that has come from the inside out as a new seed of perpetuity that is going to be bringing us in mass into oneness unity. This is also the word for buying and selling. So go to those who buy and sell and get oil. It is connected. They talked about buying and selling, but really they're saying there's a season and an opportunity that is presenting itself in order to bring full fulfillment of this maturation, consummation process that is connecting the etheric side of who we are and the material side of us through the sweet word that is lifting us up into the power of oneness unity. And how do we do this? What is it bringing into? Because this is meant for us to walk through this door, to lead us into the place of completion, the bride who is to receive her crown, the Shekinah, the Shekinah glory, that is the power of lineage's line to establish a new seed of perpetuity, heirs to a throne, the crowning event as the bride receives that authority and she becomes the queen. And again, please realize that all these words are a frequency. This isn't a noun. This isn't a specific gender related issue. This is being given to all. And I say that because this Kaf Lamed not only is a word for bride and crown, but it literally is the word for all, every, whole, and entirely. And if we are talking about whole, we are talking about wholeness, we are talking about holy. What does this do? This creates a holy people. Get over the term that we have learned through our indoctrination, because holiness just means healed. As if nothing ever happened, that nothing was ever fractured, that nothing was ever broken. You are perfectly and wonderfully made as you are right now. Some of us need to really grasp a hold of this. So when we get into a little bit further, look at this. Who, what, and which. So there's this question that is going out. I wish I could go into more detail for you to see really what's going on from what the root said to where we are now. But the importance of this is, with this question of going out, who is this that are going to be the crowned glory, that are going to have the Shekinah, the Shekinah upon them, who are going to be speaking in the season and period of time, because the sword has been given and they are building. They are the strong pillars. They are the priesthood of the Kumratha Kunatha Asaya. Shared that already on Patreon. Not sure if I released that on YouTube to know what this is. This is a new priesthood that is being birthed. And these are the physicians that are coming forward, that are going to be the strong pillars, that are going to be releasing this with the power as strong leaders who carry the spark of divinity within them, that carry the staff of authority, that will be bringing these teachings forward so others can have what they need to do the work and the deed to establish the brand new seed, the new lineage line of royalty that has come upon the earth. And they are going to be speaking the words of God. Now, this is what is so beautiful to me. So we have Dalet Lamed, which is a word that is also connected to the deep well within you. And then we have Mem Lamed, which is connected to honey, the speech that flows out from inspiration from the inside, because you've tapped the deep well within you. This is why I said this isn't about the memorization process. Both Ken and I have wrestled with that. Like, I want to just get to the place where I'm so authoritative in the language that I can just, I've got all these words memorized and I can razzle dazzle. It has nothing to do with that. It has to do with tapping the deep well within you so that you can speak honey from your lips that are meant to edify, encourage, exhort, and lift others up. It has nothing to do with you, but it has everything to do with you. It has everything to do with us. And it's delivering ourselves from the place of separation so that these anointed, heavenly, lofty words can come out of our mouth as the face of the sun. We move into the word God. And these are one of those conundrum things that Many people, well, what is God? What is this essence of God? Well, first of all, I want to highlight the Lamed Hay here in the beginning, because the Lamed Hay, this is coming from the place of the center of being. And I will share for another day of why the inside of the words is connected to your heart, the inner core of who you are. But that's a teaching I'll be doing later as I'm teaching the language. It means that which is glowing with youth, beauty, and freshness, that which is smooth and soft. So it's taking the rough edges off the stony heart, making it fresh and new, so that we can be glowing with a youth and a beauty, vitality returning, a freshness to us, because we went out of that place of oppression into something new, something vibrant, something living, something that would draw people to it. Why do you look so beaming? Well, it's because the Shekinah, the Shekinah, has come, and we are getting to partner with that. That's why the Lamed, that instruction of the Shekinah, the Shekinah glory, now moving on the inside, being flanked on both sides by the essence of the absolute unseen, the God, source, creator, the quantum realm, whatever you want to put a title to. It's the essence of the unseen that is in and through everything. And we are getting to learn that and be the expression of that. So take a look at this. Aleph is actually part of, yes, it's a strong leader. Yes, it's been connected to God, but it is a symbol that means the universal man, mankind, ruling being of earth. But we have been subjugated. And it's time for us to realize that when we move into this, we have stability and we have power that is being expressed, that continuity that is coming from the fact that we know who we are, because we've stepped into our authority as strong leader teaching shepherds that express universal life, the breath of man, air and spirit and soul, that's which is coming from the inside out. It's expressing life and animating it to its fullest, knowing who we are, because that heart is no longer melancholy. It is fresh, it is glowing, it is full of youth, it is full of vigor and strength, and that is what we are bringing forward through our mouth as we speak from the inside out, as the prophets that bring forth the Shekinah glory, something that is from spirit, from the ether, and connecting to the things that are not and the things that are that place of 0 point stillness. As we release this is connected to the holiness and from being from the age, eternity, and world. There's so much. I could go on and on and on, but I've already gone on too long. I thought I was going to make this a short one, and I recognize I don't know how many times I actually make things short, because I always seem to have so much to say when I come on here and share with you guys. But I want to show you this last word. You can connect this to what I was sharing the other day about the word of God being a two-edged sword, because this is intimately tied with that verse. So if you haven't seen that, please go back to that live stream. But this last word right here, age, eternity, and world, I want you to see something here. We have a Lamed right in the middle. And this Lamed, again, is the authority of the heart place. And what's flanking on either side is which is people. It's specifically connected to the tribesmen of Israel. And again, please don't noun it. Israel means those who have prevailed, the strong leader teaching shepherds. It also means those who are straight and upright, who have followed the straight course, those that are a being of substance, who have raised their heads, that have embraced the universality of God, of man as one, that now carry the staff of authority from the left-hand side. Not just the right hand, but the left hand as well. And that means the staff of authority from the hidden left hand. This is a very big deal of what can be transpiring through this if we embrace it, because the sword is here and it's waiting for both hands to connect to it. This has to do with entering into a world that is not limited in its expressive form of something that's imploding on itself. This is changing us over to a new age, a new eternal, higher vibratory frequency. Those who have the mind of Christ and the heart of the Magdalene, that have united the two, that are coherent, They have coherence within their body. That means that they can manifest that and get rid of the chaos. Because the very last word on this, the very last letter, mem, this is in the collective sense of mother. This is where there are many that have the same frequency to them in their unique expression, but they have united together collectively because they've known the purpose of why they're here. They see the full landscape. They found the authority within their heart. They know that the staff, the shepherd's staff, comes from within, and they have connected into this beautiful collectivity of mankind that is entered in as the universal man, as one. And this is our inheritance, and this is what is waiting to come forward. There is much to be said about the languages. So again, I know I've been going on for almost an hour here. I really wanted to share this with you so that you could see the beautiful nature of what is being presented, because I felt this was a very strong verse to launch us into studying the languages. And so for those of you who just joined, or if you've come in halfway, the reason why I shared today was I am giving access to those of you who are not able to afford the Urim level on Patreon, the $22 a month. I have brought it down so that you can access the teachings for $5 in the Todah Rabbah category. They will be the replays. They won't be live interactions with me, but it will still give you the opportunity to learn the information so that you can begin studying on your own. And I will take you through how to break apart the words, how you can begin to see. But we're going to start from the beginning. It'll be more like a collegiate course. It's not going to be basic like me teaching how I would teach someone who's in kindergarten or first grade, because there's a level of maturation that we should all be stepping into in this place. And it might feel a little overwhelming, but we'll take it step by step until we can all grasp this and people can ask questions, and I'll do my best to be able to bring forth the answers so that we can all grasp this. So I'm holding out my hands and saying, come and join me. Come and join Ken and I and our Patreon family as we do this together, because it's a monumental task, but the time is now. We are now ready collectively for these things to go forward. 2 years ago, we weren't. There was much that needed to be overcome, and we've gone through much internally, and it's manifesting externally, so the time is now. So thank you guys. Thank you so much for sharing your time with me today. I look forward to those of you that are going to join me next week as we start this. And if you come in a little late, that's okay, because the recordings are going to be there for you anyway. But I would love for you to join me right away, especially on the live stream, those of you that are able to, so I can meet you, so I can see your face, so I can see who you are, and we can begin to engage at a level that is a lot more different than what I can do here with you. Because right now I'm seeing all your wonderful comments. Some of you I have met, some of you I have not. But on a Zoom session, I can get to know you a lot better, and you can get to know me in more of an intimate setting than what we have right here. But I'm grateful. I'm grateful for what I can do right here. So much love to all of you. Shalom Alahayakun. Shalom. Shalom. Namaste.